Life is a journey, a series of steps. Beginning in birth and ending in death, your journey is very much your own. Who you are, where you are, what you want to be, what you want to do, it's all your own. It's what makes us us, but irrespective of who you are, where you are, and what you want to do, everyone is affected by the two key same principles: their decisions and their environment. Now, I've talked about decisions previously. I've talked about how being able to look at a situation and make a decision based on it is a skill. Being able to do it in a timely and effective manner is incredibly valuable. And how when you start to focus on a decision so much you forget why you're making it is a bad thing. And that you should never ever forget that irrespective of what problems you have, there'll be others there to help you with it. Decisions, though, are only one part of the puzzle. The environment is the other. Now, an environment is a very generic term. An environment could be anything at all, really, from your friends, your family, physically where you are, to what you want to try and achieve, what you want to do. It's a very, very meta-level concept, which is really how you have to think of these things. You know, an environment is a very dynamic place. It's something where you roughly know the rules, you roughly know the form, you roughly know how things are meant to go, but they never do quite go the same way in the same situation. Video games are a great example of this. The environment, you could call it, as is the map. You know, this is Epicenter, this is Scavenger. I know for a fact that weapons spawn in particular places. There are 5 flags. And to win the game, I have to capture as many flags as I can with my teammates and eliminate as many enemy players as I can. That's the rules of the game. That's the rules of the environment. But the thing is, though, you can approach an environment, you can approach a game in the same way, but it'll never play out quite the same. You see, the environment, although you may know it very well, you never really know it at all. You never really know what can happen next when someone runs around a corner and suddenly there are 2. When you look at the map and you've got full flag control, and all of a sudden the enemy starts attacking you in 2 places. How as a single person, how as a collective, as a team, can you react to that environment situation? Make the best decision. Take what you've got around you, work with it, improve whatever you're trying to work towards. That is the trick. The problem with the environment, though, is that in order to navigate it, you need to make decisions. And in order to make decisions, you need to have prior knowledge. Knowledge of prior decisions, knowledge of prior environments. And it's very much a difficult thing to think of until you've had some experience of it. Be it map knowledge, be it, well, the weather forecast. If I walk to work today, I'll get rained on, or if I drive, I'll be dry. You know, it's just a matter of getting yourself informed, knowing what's going on around you. So when you have to make a decision, you can make a very wise one which will stand you in good stead, one which will help your environmental cause, as it were. The problem is, though, that you start to get into the dilemma of decisions again. You start to think singularly. You start to think just on your own. You start to think of, well, how can I make a difference? You start to think of all the things that you've seen before, your environmental influences, your decisions you've made, and you start to try and apply those to the current situation. You might look at a scenario and go, well, I'm the only one here trying to do something. What's the point of me being here? We had 5 flags, now we've only got 2. What's the point of me even being here in the first place? Just things aren't going my way. Well, I have a simple answer to you. Don't look at the environment. You have to almost trust your instinct. Now, don't get me wrong, knowledge of previous events, knowledge of events and map knowledge, I don't know, it's very useful, it's very valuable, but don't get tied up on what's going on now. To a degree, you have to be almost a little instinctive. You have to be almost a little random at times to really make a difference. To go, well, this flag's being contested, I'm going to sit out here in the open and I'm going to use this whole box of PKP ammunition and I'm going to scare these guys lifeless. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But that's the thing with the environment. You might think you've got an situation understood, but there's always a joker in the pack, someone on your flank, who will always unsettle things. But look at that situation there. How was I to know there was someone there? No one had marked him. I didn't have that information available to me. I had to make a decision at that point. Do I regret dying there? No. I learned a lesson. I learned to be perhaps a little more cautious next time. I learned that, although we might not have taken the flag that time, I certainly maybe left an impression, left a mark on some other players. It might make my life easier, who knows? Your environment is a very complex thing. Being able to understand it, make decisions based off it, is a skill. And it sometimes helps to forget that it's a big place. It sometimes helps just to think of the here and now, to think of what's going on, what can I really make an impact on in the near future. And sometimes you might just get lucky. Just make that decision which puts you in the right place at the right time. And who knows, makes that butterfly effect decision which wins the game for you. Life is a journey, a series of steps. Remember those around you. Remember your previous knowledge. But also remember that by overthinking something, you just put more pressure on yourself. Guys, I know you like part 1, and I can't tell you how much that means to me. This is very much a part 2, and this has come about based on, well, your feedback from the previous one and just an extra part to the story, I guess. I hope you enjoyed it. It's very hard to look at a situation sometimes and make a decision, especially game level decisions, win or lose the match, whatever. You've got to remember that you're only one person at the end of the day. Don't try and evaluate everything, just do what you can, and you'll get the right outcome. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed the video. I've been Chuggy, and I'll see you next time, out on the battlefield.